Join us this week as we descend into the darker side of human nature and uncover the shadows that dwell in the unknown. From chilling true crime and gruesome murders to spine-tingling paranormal encounters that defy explanation, we're peeling back the curtain on things that go bump in the night. So grab a flashlight and maybe a blanket, because you're listening to The Guilty and the Ghostly.
Ready. Fight.
Ready, set, action, girl.
Action, clap. I looked at one of those thingies. It's only $12.
We should go.
I'm really thinking about it. So welcome back to The Guilty and the Ghostly.
Welcome back.
You've got Tori.
I am back again.
And you've got Audrey. That's
She's
me.
always here. She never goes away.
Never go away. I'm just always lurking in the shadows.
Looking up at the sky for.
Because I thought I seen a bug.
Oh gosh.
But I don't know what that is.
Looks like a tack.
Probably when we were trying to figure out the lighting.
Probably. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I put one right there.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll just keep going. So we're just gonna jump in because I don't really have any business.
Okay.
We've done the Halloween thing. That was fun. We went trick-or-treating.
It's pretty fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had a girls' day today. I will say that.
Yeah, we went to this little cute bookstore.
Yes.
Antique store.
Well, both. Yeah, so it's in Tyler. So if you're local, go check it out. I think it's called the Bluebird Antique Mall.
Yeah.
And then the Headless Librarian rents out like a... Did you see that bug? There's a moth. The Headless Librarian rents out a room in there, and it's like really... Sit over there again?
I don't know. That just really cracked me up. It was all...
It's back.
Y'all, it's the orbs.
Well, the Headless Librarians, they have like a spooky, moody vibe of a bookstore. Super cute. They had a bunch of books, some cute little things.
Trinkets.
Yeah.
Clothes.
Yes.
Everything.
And it was huge. That whole
Bangles.
store.
They have a lot of records on sale. Felt like, yeah.
Yeah. Then we went and got something to eat. Came home and we made pumpkin muffins filled with cream cheese.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one after this.
Oh, yeah.
That's one, because I'm not full anymore.
I know. I was miserable earlier. So Halloween's over, but the fall vibe is still vibing for us.
Yeah.
Which our trees just started changing color. Just now. Like within the last couple of days.
So basically, fall just began for us.
Basically. We're here. But other than that, I don't have any business. And this is a long story.
Okay, and I'm ready for it, because you've been talking to me about it, and not gonna lie, y'all, I kind of know a little bit of the story. Like, we've been talking about it. She's been researching it for, I don't even know how.
A while now.
A while.
Yeah.
Because there's a movie over it. I mean, we'll get to that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go ahead. Yeah. So, we're actually going to be covering The Exorcism of Anneliese Michel this week. So, it does come from a movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which we watched a couple of weeks ago. And had you seen it before?
No.
Yeah, that was the first time. And we really didn't watch it. I think we ended up falling asleep or something. Or then we started talking and...
Something like that.
Normal stuff. But we may have to watch it after this. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, not your typical horror movie. It's the kind of story that crawls under your skin and makes you question what you believe in.
That rhymes, okay.
I know. Get it, girl.
Mr. or Dr. Seuss.
Mr. Seuss.
Mr. Seuss.
It follows a young woman tormented by something far dark. It follows a young woman tormented by something far darker than doctors could explain. Her final days filled with pain, fear, and desperate prayers. A priest stands trial, accused of negligence, while the world debates whether she was battling demons or her own mind. It sounds like a plot of a terrifying movie dreamed up in Hollywood. But the real nightmare began long before the cameras rolled, with the true Haunting Story of Anneliese Michel.
Is Michelle her last name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It almost looks like Michael, but...
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like a double first name or something.
Yeah, no, that's her last name.
Okay.
The exorcism of Anneliese Michel remains one of the most chilling and well-documented cases of alleged demonic possession in modern history. One of the priests who performed the rituals kept meticulous notes and recorded all 67 exorcisms that took place.
What?
On this one girl,
There
67.
wasn't just one?
No. 67 on this girl.
Same priest.
Same priest, same girl, same demons, different day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, yeah, I'll ask the questions when we get to that point. But
Okay.
he ended up going to court though, right?
Yes, we will get there.
Okay.
Let's see here.
We could just cut that out,
Yeah,
Element of surprise. So.
Those tapes and journals, filled with screams, prayers, and desperate pleas, would later become key evidence in a courtroom where faith, fear, and responsibility collided in a haunting legal battle. But before the rituals, before the possession, and before her name became infamous, there was just a girl. Here is a picture of the family. So you've got mom, dad, Anneliese, and her 3 younger sisters.
Okay.
So we're fixing to kind of go through their background.
Okay. They look like a pretty average, nice family.
Yeah. I was going to say American family, but they're from Germany, so they're not American.
Oh, yeah.
Anneliese was born on September 21st, 1952.
That is so interesting. Someone I know is born on September 21st.
Oh my gosh. Who could have been born on September 21st?
It's not me, though.
It was her. She literally just had a birthday.
Not on the 21st.
Oh, yeah, you're the 27th.
Yeah.
Garrett's the 21st.
Garrett's is the 17th.
Garrett's is not the 17th. No. Who's the 21st? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Garrett's is too. I don't think his is the 17th. We'll look after this.
We have to, because that's going to be weird.
So she was born September 21st, 1952. Oh my god. We'll see what makes it in. We just had a full-on discussion. We don't know what's going to make it in. Okay?
We don't know.
It's going to be a surprise.
We're going to pull through, y'all. Keep it real.
So, they lived in the town of Klingenberg, Germany. She grew up in a deeply religious Catholic family, quiet, devoted, and by all accounts, ordinary. Her parents raised her with strong moral values and a strict faith. And for much of her early life, she was just like any other young girl, bright, kind, and full of potential. No one could have imagined that the same girl would one day become the center of one of the most disturbing exorcism cases from around the world.
That's so sad.
Oh, this one definitely, you feel for her. Whether it's possession, whether it's mental illness, your heart, she suffers. She suffers.
Like, what were they?
We're getting there.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. Hold your horses, girl.
Bro, I just want to know already. Like, I just want to know.
Okay, I'm gonna run the ending. Ready?
No.
She's possessed. But it could be mental illness. At first, Annaliese's life was normal, peaceful even. She attended school, made friends, and spent her days much like any other young girl in rural Germany. Her family lived in a 2-story house. Her father, Joseph, I think they pronounce it Joseph, ran a sawmill near their home. But her family carried a heavy shadow of guilt and devotion that shaped much of her upbringing. Before Anneliese was born, her mother, Anna, had a child out of wedlock in 1948 and named her Martha. A secret that brought deep shame in their small conservative Catholic community. It was considered a sin. It was considered a sin, and she felt like she could never fully atone for it. Because, I mean, even back in the day, not even being Catholic, just back then, if you had a child out of wedlock,
Like, wedlock,
it was a bad end. Married. She was not married.
Okay. See, for some reason I kept thinking wedlock was like they were married, but they had a kid with someone else.
No, she just wasn't married.
Okay.
She wasn't married.
But her oldest sister was already born?
Yes.
What happened to her husband?
See, that's what I'm confused. I couldn't really tell if her and Yusuf had a child together and they just weren't married, or did she have a child before she met him and then he became her stepdad? I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Something to think about, y'all. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I guess I could have looked it up a little bit further, but I do what I do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Anne was required to wear a black dress when she married Yosef. Sadly, Martha would end up dying at only 8 years from complications related to a kidney surgery. So the child that she had out of wedlock ended up dying. Some sources said it was during the surgery, some said it was after, and it was like, complications, and
She was 8 years.
8 years old, passed away. Her death deeply affected the Michel family, especially their mother Anna. Her mother. She dedicated herself completely to her faith, raising her children under strict religious values and encouraging constant prayer, confession, and moral purity. Religion wasn't just part of the Michel household, it was its foundation, its guiding force, and at times, a burden. Anneliese grew up quiet and obedient, eager to please both her parents and God. After Martha's passing, Anneliese became the oldest, and then they had the 3 younger siblings. So now Anneliese is the oldest since Martha passed away.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay, now.
Clicking now.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I thought Martha was born after Anneliese.
No, she was born before Anneliese.
Okay.
Do I need to start getting a board and like connecting the red yarn?
Probably. Or get like a whiteboard and
Yeah.
like start pulling it. This goes here.
XOs. And
Yeah.
shoot
It's
over
like a
here.
playbook. Josh is gonna come in here and be like,
what are you doing? Annaliese's mother, Anna, rejected modern views of the Catholic Church that came with the Vatican. They had started revising their beliefs and traditions in the church. The Catholic Church began moving away from the literal beliefs in demons. They thought it was more of like, they started to believe that demons weren't actually real. They were more of almost like mythology.
like a metaphor, basically.
Almost like Greek gods, I guess, almost.
Okay.
Anna taught the more traditional views before the changes of the Catholic Church to her daughters. So Anna, the mom of Anneliese, she was not vibing with the new views. She's like, demons are demons. They will possess you. If you're a sinner, like, the demons are coming after you.
Dang.
Yeah.
So she was like hardcore, like
very, very hardcore. Annaliese's father wanted to become a priest when he was younger, and 3 of Annaliese's aunts were actually nuns.
what the heck?
So this family,
same girl that got possessed has so many people around her that's like
deeply religious, and I think that plays into it.
Yeah. Because wait, sorry to cut you off,
No.
but like a lot of times they feed off of like you being religious.
Yes.
Is what I've heard. Like most times, 9 times out, or like 6.
And when you say they, you mean demons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 6 times out of 10, if you're religious, you're more able to
more open, I guess.
Yeah, like because the demons are seeing that you are pure and they don't like that, you know?
But then, which we will get there, but then on the other hand, if you have a mental illness and religion has been like hounded into you, you're also more likely to have those more crazy beliefs. So it's kind of a catch-22. Was it this or was it this? And we'll get there. Anneliese was known to be a sensitive girl and would often become overwhelmed with emotions during Mass. She was always empathetic to others, and she believed she was responsible to atone for other people's sins. Her parents always believed she would make a great teacher and started guiding her down that path for her future. Because she was very empathetic. I think I mentioned it later on. like, she believed that because all these other people were sinning, she needed to fix what she was doing and basically pay for their sins for them.
My gosh.
But everything began to change when she was 16. Anneliese went to school one day and she blacked out. She started aimlessly wandering around the school, and then she came to and had an expressionless look on her face, and her eyes almost seemed vacant. She was almost like in a zombie trance. So she was like she just blacked out, and they found her just walking around the school, and they're trying to like talk to her and stuff, and their lights are on, but nobody's home.
The heck? Like almost like she was sleepwalking, mate. Like
Kinda, yeah, yeah. She had zero memory of blacking out and wandering around the school, and that night she went home and experienced what's called a tonic-clonic seizure. They used to be known as a grand mal seizure.
okay.
They
I know
are
what those are.
yeah, so for those that don't know, they are an intense seizure that involves both muscle stiffening, which is the tonic part, and rhythmic muscle jerking, which is the colonic part.
So it's basically one of those seizures where you're like jerking, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and they have to like
Convulsing.
separate your mouth and like, yeah.
Don't separate the mouth. You are not supposed to separate the mouth.
Well, like if you can prevent them from chomping down.
You're not supposed to do that either. You're not supposed to get anywhere around their mouth. Just make sure it's free of anything. Do not put anything in their mouth. Do not put your fingers in their mouth.
Oh, I know, like, don't put your fingers in their mouth,
Yeah,
but
like,
like,
chop off your little finger.
yeah.
But even if you put something in their mouth, it could impede their breathing or like go down their throat and they can choke on it. So keep it
like
clear.
people that have seizures, they have like these little rings.
Like
they're kind of like teething rings.
I hate to
say it like that, but
yeah.
like
Almost like a mouth guard.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But how do you get that if they're having a seizure already? You can't get that in their mouth.
I think like I don't know.
I never heard that before. We'll have to look at that.
I know like you're supposed to also like separate their legs and like their arms and stuff because they could like scratch themselves.
I've always been
like,
told, yeah, I've always been told just let them go. Like, don't, I mean, obviously watch them, but don't mess with their mouth. Just basically turn them on their side, put something underneath their head to make sure they're not hitting their head on anything.
Yeah.
And leave it at that. We need a seizure class if anybody wants to offer that.
Yeah, we do. Because there is a lot of people that actually struggle with seizures.
Yeah, it's very. I've had.
I have a lot more common than I thought.
I had two really good friends in high school that one was a guy and one was a girl, and they often had seizures, and it's scary.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Well, she's yeah. Back to the story, guys.
That's basically what the seizure is, y'all.
That is seizure time with Tory and Audrey.
Yeah, and if y'all already knew, well, correct us if we're wrong.
If we're completely wrong, tell us to shut the hell up and keep going.
Yeah. Take everything we say with a grain of salt.
We're not doctors. We are not doctors.
We didn't claim to be doctors.
Well, she started convulsing, muscles started contracting, and then jerking uncontrollably, and then at one point she even lost control of her bladder. When she woke up, she said she had a heaviness on her chest, and it felt like something was trying to crush her. Her parents ended up taking her to a neurologist, and that's when they diagnosed her with what was called temporal lobe epilepsy, a condition that can cause hallucinations, intense emotions, and even religious visions. She was prescribed medication, and for a while, it seemed like they were managing it. Like, she seemed like she was okay. I think she was still having, like, light seizures and stuff, but it wasn't anything extreme.
How old was she at this point?
16.
Okay.
In 1970, Anneliese ended up contracting tuberculosis and was hospitalized. TB, of course, Seth and I covered that episode. It can cause fever, weight loss, fatigue, chest pain, cause you to cough up blood. Like, it's no fun.
And what is that?
TB, tuberculosis.
Oh, okay.
She was also diagnosed with tonsillitis, pneumonia, heart problems, and circulatory problems during her stay at the hospital, which I'm sure from having TB and everything, it kind of caused...
Like a counter reaction, basically.
Just snowballed.
That's horrible.
While being treated, Anneliese claimed to have heard strange sounds and feeling a sense of euphoria when she prayed. In June, while she was in the hospital for treatment, she had another seizure. Doctors prescribed anticonvulsant medications to treat the epilepsy. However, this did not help with all the symptoms she was experiencing. Anneliese claimed that she began seeing the devil's face when she would pray. She thought that them showing up when she prayed was a warning to her, and she became almost scared to pray because those faces would come up.
Oh, gosh.
So doctors adjusted her medications, they explored new treatments, and they labeled her condition as depression layered with psychosis. But nothing helped. Her behavior grew stranger. She claimed she couldn't stand the sight of holy objects. The crucifixes burned her skin, and that voices screamed whenever she entered a church. So she's starting to show almost an objection to holy objects and
anything that has to do with religion.
Yes.
That wasn't one of the side effects on the drugs. It was just religious hallucinations, right?
Which it could be. It could be. And that was her what was it, the epilepsy, I think that could cause that. Over the next 5 years, Anneliese continued to take the medications to try and help with her condition. However, it only seemed to get worse. She began obsessively praying every day, hoping it would save her. During her prayer sessions, she claimed to hear voices of demons that would tell her that she was damned and that she was going to rot in hell.
Oh my gosh, what?
I couldn't...
and she's, like, actively telling her parents about this, I would presume. Like...
Yes. Yep.
Gosh.
She began to smell foul odors. She would say they smelled something burning, almost like rotting flesh or even feces. She would just randomly smell these odors.
I wonder if it was, like, common in their town back then. Like, I know at their church they were switching churches because they were starting to not believe in demons, but I wonder if it was kind of like the Salem witch trial thing, like, she heard all these symptoms that people
experience.
Yeah. Were possessed, because that's, like, spot on in possession, and she's saying all of it, like,
everything
spot on. So I'm not saying she's lying, obviously. I'm just saying, like,
could it be mental health?
Could it be mental health, or was it, like, a thing back in the day where people were getting
that mass hysteria, basically?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And then she wants to please her parents so bad, and she's like, you know, look at me trying to pray, but God's, you know, demons are coming after me.
That's so strange to me, because it's like, I don't know. Just continue. I'm sure the story's gonna get worse.
Well, no one else could smell it. They couldn't smell the odors.
Imagine not, because
it's like, oh, like, did you fart? To her family, it no longer seemed like an illness. It felt like like evil itself was taking a hold. So at first they did think it's just her illness, but there was so much going on. They're just kind of like, could it be more? Like, could there be more to this than just her mental illness? One day while she was praying, Anneliese had a vision of the Virgin Mary. Mary asked Anneliese if she would become a victim's soul and atone for the German youth who no longer believed in traditional beliefs of the Catholic Church. Anneliese agreed, and Mary told her that she would become I about said obsessed. She would become possessed to prove to everyone that Satan does exist. So she had this vision that Virgin Mary came to her and was like, look, all these people are really screwing up. Somebody has to pay for their sins. You up for it? Like,
what the heck? And how are they knowing this?
She's telling them.
But she's not possessed yet.
No, not at this point. This is leading up to it. These are just like the first signs.
But even when someone's possessed, it's not like it's leading up to it. It's either.
Oh, it does normally.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was like black or white. Like it happens instantly. Like
Not normally. Well, how do you know? I mean, how do you know if somebody's possessed? I guess there's no way to prove it. I don't know. But from the stories that I know, it normally ramps up. Like it starts small and then it like builds to this big explosion. A lot of the stories I've heard, anyways. Anneliese began having even more reactions to sacred objects. When she would look at pictures of Christ or even a crucifix, she said it would almost have like a bright glare that would burn her eyes coming off of these holy objects.
what the heck? So religious hallucinations. Check mark.
Check.
Check mark. What was the other side effect?
Smelly farts because she's seeing a lot of smelling a lot. No.
She said burning feces. Girl, that's your
Did you have Mexican food? Oh.
Like, girl, that's some burritos coming down.
Well, later, a family friend took Anneliese and her mom to a saint shrine in Italy that was in a sacred garden. The shrine was surrounded by others who were praying and giving their respect to the shrine. Anneliese claimed that the ground underneath her began to burn like fire as she approached it, and she was unable to enter the garden.
But are there like physical signs of this? Like, were her feet burning? Like
were they hot to touch?
Yeah.
That's the crazy part, which we will get there. Once they're doing the possessions and stuff, weird things did start happening. Like again, let me get there, but weird stuff that they couldn't really explain did start happening. Like one thing is she would be like screaming, "My body is burning, my body is burning," and they would like touch her and the rest of her body would be fine, but where she's like saying it's burning is like hot to the touch.
What the heck? I'm confused. Are you confused?
We'll go over at the end. We'll decide what we think.
Okay.
As she tried numerous times to enter, she would look at all the other visitors that were there, and they would start clenching their teeth and glare at her with pure rage. So she's looking at all these people praying, and they are like doing these crazy things at her, like clenching like and like chomping their teeth at her. But as far as I know, nobody else seen this. It was only her seeing it.
Okay.
During this trip, they took Anneliese to the Christian Holy Spring in hopes that she could drink the water and help heal her, like from the inside out. Let's wash you out, girl.
Mm-hmm.
When she would try to drink the water, she would experience burning sensations anywhere the water touched.
Even in her throat?
She ended up refusing to drink it. She would not drink the holy water. She ended up becoming so overwhelmed with the sacred location that she ripped off her rosary that she was wearing and then began speaking in a deep male voice. Could you imagine being her mom and seeing her, like, doing all this?
Especially because she, like, it's switched up. She was such a good, caring Christian,
Catholic.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Love Jesus. Then all of a sudden, a foul stench seemed to cover Anneliese, but this time it was experienced by others. That's that Mexican food, girl.
She was just mad she had a little indigestion, right?
While on this trip, they had a guide that showed them around and took them to all the other sacred places. After everything this guide witnessed, they concluded that Anneliese was possessed and the only thing that could help her was an exorcism. So the guide that was taking them everywhere started noticing all this stuff and like reactions that she's having to all this sacred objects, and he's like, "Homegirl's possessed. Like y'all need to do something." But getting an exorcism isn't as easy as some of the movies show. Like you can't just be like, "Hey, Father."
Yeah, it has to be approved by the church.
Yeah,
like
you got to jump through the hoops. Some of the things you have to do, you have to meet certain requirements and qualifications, like to even be considered. Once that is done, you still have to get permission from a bishop. By 1973, the Michels were desperate. They reached out to several priests begging for an exorcism, but were turned away time and time again. So they were saying, no, we're not doing it.
Or are they just thinking it wasn't like the real deal?
I don't know.
They give reasons.
Because kind of like I said, they're kind of moving away from that at this time. And even towards the end, the Catholic Church was kind of shady about things too. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. The church insisted on one more medical evaluation before any ritual could be approved. So at least they were like, she needs to be seen by a doctor.
By a professional.
Professional.
But wasn't she already...
She was already being seen. So they're like, you need to
be seen again.
Be seen again, I guess.
Even though you're already being seen.
Still.
I know I keep moving around, so it's going to be in the freaking audio.
It's okay.
So I'm trying to get comfortable.
Get comfy. Well, still, Annaliese's torment only worsened. She refused to eat, tore her clothes, and spent hours growling, barking, and cursing the name of God. Even with all of this going on, Anneliese graduated secondary school, which is high school, basically.
What the heck?
She then started attending the University of Würzburg in Germany to study education and theology to become a teacher. She even met a boy named Peter who she would actually start dating. They started seeing each other and kept seeing each other for a while.
And was all of this happening still or no?
Just wait, girl. Peter was a fellow student at the university, and many peers recalled that she was a very quiet and like sweet person, and she just kind of kept to herself at first. She often seemed distracted by her religious beliefs. She was still taking her medications, and she was still seeing medical professionals while she's going to the university. But her symptoms seemed to intensify the longer she was at college. But again, does that go back to mental stability? Because she's away from home, she's in a college on her own. It makes you wonder, was it really possession or was it her going through it?
Like I said, like...
she's alone, so did that open her up for the demons to come get her?
Like, I don't know how to even say this, because, like, I feel like I believe in, like, a different way from a lot of people, but, like, in a summed up way, I feel like some people just have that draw to them, you know?
Yeah.
Being in college, being around that partying life, you know? Being around all that bad, negative energy that people are bringing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
so
wonder
does it attach to her?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it definitely could have been mental, because I'm, like, thinking, like, why is all this happening so far, you know? But also, she could have very well been possessed. And that thing could have been literally just feeding off of...
And she does, and she does, if she does have a mental illness, that, I don't want to say this wrong, and don't take this wrong, but her mentality isn't strong. So there's not as many barriers to knock down if it really is a demon. So if her mentality isn't 100%, then does that make her more susceptible to be attacked? Like, it could go either way.
Yeah, because it's kind of like they attack you when you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's kind of what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
yes.
Like anything. Like, and I think in the spiritual world too, like, especially in new houses, you see people move in, they don't know the house, and immediately, if that house has something in it, first night, strange things start happening, and they always end up with the bruises, man.
Scratches. 3 scratches.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Well, she began showing signs of not being able to control herself at times. She almost had like an obsessive quality to things. She would do things like doing between 400 to 600 squats in one day, continuously kneeling up and down while praying. She also began eating things like coal and bugs. So there you go.
And she was in school right now?
She's in college.
She got a boyfriend?
She's still got her boyfriend.
She's eating colon bugs. Okay, wonderful.
She's just trying to get that charcoal toothpaste.
You know, it's natural.
Yeah, and the bugs, protein. That's all protein.
That's all it is for them squats, hon.
Clean protein. Yeah, she was on her fitness journey. She's doing squats. She's eating the coal.
I've been saying, bro.
All right, we got it figured out.
She was doing it for the better fitness.
However, she would scream for hours at a time. And there was one point where I think she kind of took a little side quest of her fitness journey, and she lived under a table for a couple of days and would bark like a dog. But that's not it. There's more. She even urinated on the floor and would lick it up and then would chew on her urine-soaked underwear.
My gosh. What?
She would run around her house almost bucking like a goat. Like when she would go home and visit on like weekends and stuff, she would run around her house and buck like a goat, and parts of her body seemed to swell up for no apparent reason, and it would feel hot to the touch. She would start ripping off her clothes because of the burning. She said it was just so intense. Like get it off me, get it all off.
Yeah,
of
like
me.
she just like overstimmed.
Yeah, and then she even stuck her head in a bucket of ice cold water. And even at one point, a toilet, trying to just get relief from the burning because she was so freaking hot. She was just trying to wash it away.
Cool down. What the heck?
Her body would then become stiff during these episodes, and she would go into a catatonic state. Other times, she would become violent and start lashing out. She would seem to have incredible strength and pick up items that she shouldn't have been able to lift and throw them across the room. So, incredible strength.
What?
During another episode, she picked up a dead bird and bit its head off. So she done skip fitness girly, and now she's going to Ozzy Osbourne era. Crazy train era. Well, continuously getting more extreme and violent, especially on religious holidays.
So, like Christmas, Easter.
Yes. Not only was she acting bizarre, but strange things started happening as well. So now things are going to start happening that are a little bit harder to explain. Swarms of flies would appear and then disappear in the house only when she was home. Her family seen dark, shadowy figures darting around her. And, like, she would come home, she'd be there, and they would, like, see dark shadows moving in the corner. Our good old buddy Peter, Mr. Boyfriend, stayed by her side and initially thought she was just going through, basically all of this because of her epilepsy, stress of college. He's like, girl's just going through it. Like, I'm gonna stick by her side, but girl's going through it. And he does. He sticks through her side, even up through the exorcisms. Like, Peter, he's
a real one.
He's a real one.
Well, going back to, like, what you just said is, like, whenever they do those experiments, and it's like, okay, we're gonna give y'all each a beer, but one of the beers end up being water.
Mm-hmm, like non-alcoholic or
yeah, and they're still acting drunk.
The placebo effect?
Yeah, I wonder if that is, like, the parents were so worried about their daughter, they're like, wait, do you see that? Like,
yeah.
Like, if it were to play into the mental health, I could see it, like, from that
even
side
doing
too,
it,
you
yeah.
know?
Yep.
Just to comment on, like, both sides of it, like, mental health and also demonic.
Like, I kept going back and forth doing this. Like, could she be possessed? I mean, she could. There are some weird things happening. But, again, we'll get there. We'll go through we'll get there. We'll talk about it later. Well, medical doctors decided to put her on a new medication called Tegretol. It's commonly used to treat certain types of seizure disorders. It's supposed to help stabilize electrical activity in the brain, reducing the abnormal firing of neurons. So it's supposed to, like, kind of rewire your brain so that it's firing correctly.
Okay.
It was also prescribed for bipolar disorder. Even with the new medication and Anneliese taking it like she's supposed to do, nothing seemed to be helping. So she's still taking the medications, as the doctors are saying, but nothing's improving her at all. Only causing her family to believe more and more that it just wasn't mental illness affecting Anneliese, but possibly demonic possession, because they're doing all the things the doctors are telling her to do. They're taking the medications.
And nothing seems to
Nothing's helping. The family were basically at their wits' end and decided, let's reach out to a priest again, see what we can do. This time they reached out to Father Ernst Alt, and he was a German priest who did believe in the existence of demonic possession. So he was one of the ones that kind of had the old beliefs. He agreed to come examine Anneliese and her condition, and he spent numerous sessions praying and talking to her. She would seem to be better after their sessions and would be doing better, but that would only last for short periods of time. She would go right back to having the experiences.
like the fits and everything.
Yeah. Father Alt never seen her have a seizure himself, but he did believe there was more going on than just mental illness. Anneliese even confided in him that she wants to suffer for other people, but it's so cruel.
What the heck?
Finally, on September 30th, 1974, Father Alt asked Bishop Joseph Stengel for permission to perform an exorcism on Anneliese. The bishop refused and told Father Alt that he needed to spend more time with Anneliese and keep pursuing medical help. Her family continued asking the church for help, arguing that they have been pursuing medical help and it hasn't gotten any better. So they're like, we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, and
yeah,
nothing's happening. It's still bad.
And at the time, whenever they like kind of dismissed demons, were they still doing exorcisms or no?
Not as many. I don't think they're doing as many. And I think that was part of why they couldn't get it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking just now too.
Well, she continued showing signs of demonic possession, and the family continued seeking medical advice. So they were still taking her to the doctors, even though they're like, something's up. They at least were still taking her to the doctors.
Yeah.
In 1975, Annaliese's grandmother died, and Annaliese's younger sisters ended up moving out. Later that year, Anneliese sent a letter to Father Alt, and it said, I am nothing. Everything about me is vanity. What should I do? I have to improve. You pray for me.
And she wrote that or texted it?
She wrote that, girl. This is 1974, 75. There's no texting.
1970s?
Yep.
Well, I guess not.
Okay. After receiving the letter, Father Alt decided to visit Anneliese. She was completely hysterical. After he left, Annaliese's condition seemed to worsen even more. She would lay in her bed, her body completely stiff. When she got up from her bed, her legs would remain stiff and she wouldn't bend her knees when she walked. So she kept her legs they would just stay straight when she was walking. They would not bend at the knee. She would growl, scream, and attack anyone that was around her. Father Alt appealed her case again to the bishop. Finally, a Jesuit priest named Adolf Rearwick recommended that Bishop Stengel allowed the exorcism to happen. He's like, let's go ahead and see if we can help this girl.
Like, it's been long enough now.
Yep.
Because at the beginning, they tried to get help from the church too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, the bishop finally agreed in September 1975. Father Arnold Rentz was brought on as like a more experienced priest. He was in his mid-60s to help with the exorcism. They were authorized to perform an exorcism under the Ritual Romanum, which is like, I guess, a certain technique almost. Oh, it's an ancient rite that had rarely been used in modern times. I forgot I put that in there. The bishop had one stipulation, though. This had to be done in complete secrecy. He didn't want anybody to know that he's allowing them to do an exorcism on this girl.
Why?
Why? We don't know. The first session took place in 1975. The priest, Annaliese's family, and a few friends and Annaliese's boyfriend was there. It did not last long, but during the session, she began sobbing and moaning uncontrollably. She felt like her entire body was on fire, and 3 men had to hold her down.
What the heck?
She was kicking, thrashing around, and biting the men that were holding her. The priest then began splashing holy water on her, which caused her to start yelling obscenities and even howling like a dog. This was just the first of 67 exorcisms that would be performed on Anneliese in a 10-month time period.
So it's like everyday thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every other month or every month.
Actually,
every time.
I'll tell you. It's on down. The priest and the family kept their promise, and they kept it all in secrecy. She was still seeing doctors at that point. Like, they were making sure it was all right.
Yeah.
They would perform 1 to 2 sessions per week, each one lasting 1 to 4 hours.
Holy crap.
Shortly after the session started, her family stopped the medical treatment that she was receiving. So once they started the exorcisms, they stopped the medical treatments.
Why?
I guess because they really believed she was possessed. I'm not sure. They believed that it was not helping her anymore, and they felt like they had done everything they could. At that point, they thought the only thing that would cure their daughter were the exorcisms. Anneliese would eventually quit eating and drinking and decreasing the amount each passing day. She would become dehydrated and malnourished, and she was praying obsessively to the point that she knelt and prayed so much that she would end up breaking her kneecaps and tearing tendons in her legs.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she might have actually been possessed, Audrey.
From not eating and drinking, she was withering away to nothing, which I will show you some pictures. So this is her during some of the exorcisms. And
it's really rough. And I don't mean that in no disrespect, just it's really sad.
That was during an exorcism.
My gosh.
Very sad. I'll post the pictures so you guys can see them, but like her eyes are black. She's almost looks gaunt. She doesn't look well. From not eating and drinking, she was withering away to nothing. Barely being able to move on her own, they would restrain Anneliese during the sessions by tying her to a bed or chaining her to a chair.
Oh my gosh.
It's bad.
Chaining her?
Chaining her to a chair.
So she would like get untied from the bed, I'm guessing?
I don't know. That's just their method. Even though they were sworn to secrecy when doing the exorcism, the priests kept notes and audio recordings of the sessions. They wanted to document everything and be able to study the session at a later date. They also wanted to be able to provide evidence to Bishop Stengel because they thought it was important to document, especially since Anneliese was speaking different languages and claimed to be possessed by several entities. This is kind of the weird part. She was speaking several different languages, like Chinese, Latin, and okay, maybe she knew Latin through her Catholic church or through school, but Chinese?
Yeah, what?
So these are the demons. We're fixing to get to a good part. Let me get back up here. I just scrolled past it. These are the demons that claim to have been possessing Anneliese.
They have names?
Oh yeah, girl, you know them. Lucifer. The devil himself considered the primary, most powerful presence. Cain, the biblical figure who killed his brother Abel, representing murder and sin. Judas, the apostle who betrayed Jesus, symbolizing betrayal and damnation. Nero, the Roman emperor known for persecuting Christians. Fleshman, a defrocked priest from the 16th century who is said to have been excommunicated for violence and immorality. Hitler, Adolf Hitler, the Hitler, who allegedly appeared as one of the voices mocking and tormenting Anneliese. Legion, which the term legion comes from the Bible, Mark 5:9 and Luke 8:30, where Jesus encounters a man possessed by many demons, and when asked his name, the spirit replies, "My name is Legion, for we are many," and signifies not one demon, but like a collective
Group
of demonic entities. Each entity reportedly spoke with a different voice or tone during the sessions. Sometimes they would even argue amongst themselves. They also seemed to have their own individual personalities when they would speak through her, and I'm going to play you a clip of when they first found out what demons were possessing her. You ready?
Yeah.
So you can hear her say, you heard Nero and Hitler, like you can hear her say those.
Wait, that's what that was?
Yeah.
I did not even understand
Can you
it.
play it again? It's hard to understand. Okay. Hitler. So that was when they named, or when she named the entities that were inside of her. Why does that sound so loud? Oh, you left the door open. I also found a clip from BuzzFeed, and I'm going to play this for you. Now, it is in German, so you won't understand it, but I'll tell you what he says.
Okay.
So this is the second clip I found. So, you ready to hear what they said?
Yeah. What did they actually say?
This is what they said. If I can click on the right one here. Okay. So, for those of us that don't speak German,
Right.
Father Rentz asked, "Why are you all here?" Anneliese then growls and says, "I have the right to be in this woman. I will carry this brat so long until she croaks. This dumb ass bitch." She then screams and says, "For us, there is no coming back. Never. For all eternity." And there are a bunch of other videos. You can find them on YouTube and online. And they're the real recordings. And it's just, I was researching this, and we were actually sitting at Jackson's practice, and I was sitting in the front seat, and I had my feet like draped over onto the passenger seat.
Uh-huh.
I had my AirPods in listening to this, and Addie reached underneath me to grab something, and I about jumped out of my seat. It scared the crap out of me. During the videos, they documented her screaming, rambling, and cussing at the priest. The demons would often send warnings and tell how they would be suffering in hell and what brought them there. They also would talk about how the new modern beliefs that were evolving in the Catholic Church, basically warning them that it was going to cause people to go to hell. Like they were like, they're messing up. They're going to hell because they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Way.
One demon would tell the priest that Anneliese was cursed by an old jealous neighbor. Her family did admit that they did have an issue with an old neighbor, but that neighbor had since died. But again, that's kind of odd because if you remember, Anneliese said the Virgin Mary came to her and asked her to atone for other people's sins. So why is now the neighbor the one
That cursed her or something?
right? So just a little discrepancy. Do with it what you want. It was also said that Jesus spoke with Anneliese and told her that due to her sacrifice, she would become a saint. As the sessions continued, Anneliese would eat less and less. She quit drinking water and was withering away to absolutely nothing. Her body was covered in bruises, black eyes, and broken teeth. She was scratching herself and causing sores all over her body. She was losing her hair from being now malnourished, and then she would even pull it out during her outburst. Even though her body was so frail and battered, she still would have incredible strength during these episodes. She began refusing any medical treatment, including her medications, and quit eating and drinking altogether. She no longer had the medication to help with her epileptic seizures. She would eventually tell Father Rentz, I never thought it would be as cruel as it is. I always thought I would want to suffer for others, so they would not have to go to hell. In October of 1975, the priests believed they finally were able to exorcise the demons. She would vomit violently as each one would supposedly leave her body, and as the demons were leaving, she would yell, "Hail Mary, full of grace," but in the demon's voice, and then she would vomit into the bucket.
What the heck?
And then they thought they were gone. But one showed back up, and it said it was hiding in Anneliese the entire time and never actually left. It took over a week, and the priests were finally able to figure out it was Judas who was still there. He claimed that Mary had told him that he needed to stay with Anneliese until Mary was able to return. Once Mary returned, he would be gone once and for all. The outburst continued, and Anneliese was still refusing food, water, or medical treatment and becoming weaker by the day. By March, when Anneliese wasn't being controlled by the demons, she would just lay in her bed completely unresponsive.
My gosh.
That April, right before Easter, Anneliese said this, and this, is it this part? I think we're getting there. There's another part of the story that is just strange and has nothing to do with her mental illness.
It's just weird,
that you can't explain. That April, right before Easter, Anneliese said that there was a great trial ahead of her. She would compare it to Jesus's crucifixion, and in May, her parents decided to take her to a psychiatric hospital. Okay, so we got to do something. It's still not getting better.
Yeah, we tried everything.
From all accounts, while there, she would just scream continuously. If she wasn't screaming, then she was just laying stiff in bed, not moving. Still not eating or drinking, and after about a week, her parents decided to bring her back home. Anneliese told her parents that this was going to continue until July, and then it will be over. So remember that. She said this is going to continue until July, and it will all be over.
When did she die? July.
After they brought her home, Anneliese seemed to decline more and more. She was suffering and in a lot of pain, screaming and throwing herself into walls, biting herself, and she even was chewing through the walls and breaking her teeth while she was trying to chew through a wall. She threw herself through a glass door, but somehow had no injuries when she threw herself through this glass door. She was sleeping less and less, and the demons were no longer responding to the priest. On June 8th, Father Alt seen her for the last time, but Father Rentz continued the exorcism. On June 30th, Anneliese asked for Father Rentz to forgive her for all the sins, and he agreed. At this point, Anneliese had pneumonia and a high fever. She told her mother that she was afraid. That night, she would die in her sleep from starvation and dehydration on July 1st at 23 years old, weighing just 66 pounds.
Holy.
So she said it would be over in July,
When
and
did
on
she
July
say that?
1st.
What month was it?
I think it was in June. It was May or June. After her death, an investigation ensued. We're almost done. After her death, an investigation ensued into her death. What?
Nothing. You like, we're almost done. Hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there, girl. We're almost done. After her death, an investigation ensued, and doctors determined that if Anneliese would have received basic medical attention just a week before she passed, she would have survived. Both priest and her parents were sent to trial. They were charged with negligent homicide.
Dang.
This part's wild.
Her parents too?
Her parents too. A nun would tell Anneliese's parents that she had a vision of Anneliese in her grave and that she had not decomposed. She said that her body did that because it was to show proof of God, Mary, demons, and hell. Her parents were able to get permission to have her body exhumed.
Wait, what is that, like, examine?
Pulled out of the ground. Dig her out of the grave. We're going to open her up and see what happened. Because this is, I think, February. Is that what I said?
Get permission for that?
Yeah.
But it's your daughter.
We don't want people just going up digging up dead bodies. That's a little weird.
Yeah, I guess. But anyways, boom.
This is in February that this happened.
So
she died in July. Yeah.
So it's been
a few months. It's too late. I ain't calculating that.
7 months.
Let's see here. They claimed they wanted to give her a better coffin. So they couldn't be like, you got to dig her up because we got to see if she's decomposed or not. Because that would look, they'd be like, no, we ain't doing it. Suspicious. So they're like, we want to give her a better coffin. Hundreds of people showed up to watch Anneliese's body be exhumed on a cold day in February. After they dug her body out of the ground, they opened her casket, and there her body laid in advanced state decomposition. So she looked normal. She decomposed like she was supposed to. I had you thinking. Just cursed you.
Too, and like, imagine how the nun felt. Like, why would you even do that?
Yeah. They would rebury her in a new coffin, and the trial would begin on March 30th, 1978, and it was highly publicized. People were watching, completely intrigued by the thought of possession being real. The Catholic Church paid for lawyers for the defense, and her parents were represented by a lawyer that had previously defended accused Nazi war criminals. Many doctors were brought in to discuss Anneliese's psychological state for the prosecution and how her strict religious upbringing would have had an effect on her. They argued that her death was preventable and that she suffered from a medical condition, not possession. They also asked that the priest would be fined rather than sentenced to jail, and that her parents would not be prosecuted at all. Which, fair enough.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
They said that her parents had suffered enough and that she should not have any further punishment, or they should not have any further punishment. The defense claimed that Anneliese had been possessed and that the priests were acting in accordance with the Catholic Church's approval for the exorcism. They played the recordings during the trial, trying to prove that she was possessed. Bishop Stengel, who approved the exorcism, was investigated but never testified in court. He was not brought into court.
But what? Why?
They just didn't bring him in.
He was like literally right.
He okayed it. Like, he signed off.
Yeah.
He said that he was never informed of Anneliese's mental condition and that the treatments before he approved the exorcism. So he's like, they never told me she was having mental. Did you just hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? It's a demon. That was right behind us. I don't hear it anymore. So he basically said the family never informed him of her diagnosis and her medical history. He claims they never said that.
But they did.
And they even told them, go see a medical provider, which they did before the exorcism was.
And then he signed off on it after the fact that they went and saw it.
Yep.
So what is he even saying? Wait, you just scared the crap out of me, bro.
Did you hear it, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a clicking noise.
Yeah. It almost sounded like something fell. The priest and her parents were found guilty, and they were sentenced to 6 months in jail.
That's not bad.
But their sentences were suspended, and they actually only served 3 years of probation, so they never went to jail.
Oh.
After 1978, the lives of everyone connected to Anneliese were forever changed. Her parents withdrew from the public life. They remained deeply devout, never doubting that their daughter had been truly possessed. Despite the conviction, they believed the exorcism was justified, even saying Anneliese had been liberated before she died. Their home quietly became a place of a pilgrimage for those who saw Anneliese not as a victim, but as a martyr. Anna occasionally gave interviews in later years, standing firm in her faith and her beliefs, and Joseph lived a quiet life until he died in 1994. As for the priest, Father Arnold Rentz and Father Alt both remained within the Catholic Church, though under strict supervision.
I imagine.
Father,
the one that signed off on it isn't signing off on no papers anymore.
Yeah, they're like, we're revoking your right to sign off.
Yeah, but wait, you're not allowed to use a pen, actually. Give it back.
That's not yours.
Back in the day, it was probably that fancy
ink pen.
Yeah. Like, give it back, man.
Yeah. Father Rentz continued his duties for a short time, but passed away later that same year in 1978. Father Alt, who had always believed Anneliese was possessed, struggled deeply with the aftermath, and he continued his priestly work, but carried out emotional and spiritual scars until his death in 1984. Anneliese herself was laid to rest, and her grave still draws visitors today, which I didn't include it in here, but I found some other information to where after the trial and everything, her family's house burnt down to the ground.
What?
And they investigated it, and they said it was arson, but they couldn't pinpoint what caused it.
Yeah.
But the house burnt down, which is, again, just kind of odd. So there are strange things where it's like, okay, that is weird.
I mean, you can't prove, like, what do you think?
I think there's mental illness.
Okay.
There's too many conflicting, like her saying, Mother Mary came to me and asked me to atone for their deaths. But then it's saying, this neighbor over here cursed her. But it's just kind of like, okay, well, that's strange. And I think with her upbringing and being so strictly religious like it was, and them doing that, I think with her mental health being what it was, it just intensified. And then they're messing with all of these medications she's on, trying to find the right one. That messes with you too.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're not, like, I'm sure they were wanting to speed up the process, and after you get off some certain medications, you have to wait a little bit, but they're probably just like,
going right in on
take this one, then take this one. That one's not working, take this one.
Yeah.
Like the same day.
Yeah.
You know?
But there was some strange things that it's just like, well,
how can you?
Yeah, that's
like the speaking Chinese. Weird.
Yeah.
Just the hotness.
Her predicting, saying it's going to be over in July, and then she dies July 1st.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is weird. I will say that. So yeah, that was the exorcism of Anneliese Michel.
I enjoyed it.
Those recordings are regardless, are creepy.
Yeah, they are.
They freak me out.
I can't really understand her, though.
I had to listen to way too many, and I was like, okay, this is weird.
Well, it was a good episode. The ring light. If you saw me closing my eyes a lot, it's because
I'm blind.
I'm blind, literally, like,
yeah.
Glare.
Yeah, it's a lot. And we have it turned all the way down, but it's dark in here, so we have to...
Yeah.
You have to see our beautiful faces.
But it was good. I have no questions, no comments or concerns. I mean...
I have a lot of concerns. What you talking about, girl?
Like, it's clear as day that she was all, like... She was in psychosis. Like...
And again, the medicines aren't what they are. weren't what they aren't.
They aren't what they used to be.
They aren't what they are today. Back then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm following now.
Okay. I'm not following.
The medicines, they aren't.
Not they weren't as good as they are now.
They aren't.
They aren't. The medicines aren't, girl. They aren't.
Oh my god.
Yo, we stayed up till like 2:30 in the morning watching the new Murdoch docuseries on Hulu, and then
Even though it's old.
Yeah.
It's been on there for a while,
but we're just now watching it.
Yeah.
And then we got up early for our girls' day. And we're tired.
I'm okay tired.
I've been single parenting it for 2 weeks. Ready for Josh to come back.
Heck yeah.
I might leave for a week after he gets back. Like, you left me for a month? Bye!
Got vacation, girl.
Yep. So, I guess if you liked our episode,
give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. Give us some money.
Help me, I'm poor.
We're laughing, but I'm not joking.
No, that's funny.
No, but it was a really good episode. It was super long. I wish I would have probably done it like earlier today, like this morning, because I was kind of getting a little loopy tired. But
yeah. And I think Seth, I'm going to see if he'll record this week, and I think we're going to do the first true crime one for him, and I think it's a good one.
I think I like it.
I think so too. Seth, if you're listening to this, get ready.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Sunny boy.
Sunny boy.
Bring Hadley.
Yeah, bring Hadley. She can record with me. I can put Hadley over there. I'm like, okay, Hadley.
You should do a little solo episode with her.
Oh, I was like, by myself? No.
Not with her.
With her. It's the talk show with Hadley.
Yeah.
Hadley's Haunts.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
Kind of like feature, but she haunts us.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Y'all, we just talking. We're tired.
Yeah, we need to go. All right. Go like.
Like an hour.
Go like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. Keep supporting us. Every little bit of interaction definitely helps. Gets our name out there. Shout out to Keely Stokes. She's been doing all that for me. She's awesome.
And not only is it getting our name out there, but it's boosting our confidence. Like, going back on old videos, watching them, we've definitely improved, and we're only going to get better for y'all as we go.
And we got a cute backdrop now. I hope you like our spooky... This is our first actual, like, normal episode that we recorded. Josh recorded in here by himself, and I did it once by myself, but this is the first one.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go wait on Elizabeth. Is she almost here? Go eat some muffins and go finish our series. So, until next week.
Until next week, y'all.
Bye.